So this is my Stealth HSP Stealth RC car. If you remember in the last video I tried to convert it to brushless, but we had some problems. Well, those problems have all been sorted out, so it now works. I've got it running. So what the problem was the actual shaft that goes through the motor itself had disconnected from the magnet and the holders keeping it in place. Now that in itself is a huge issue, and when it was kind of running, which we didn't see on camera because I cut the footage, it was squealing. And when I say squealing, I mean it was really loud, really high-pitched. So I've taken it apart, and that's how I found out that everything was disconnected and not working properly. So I've put a bunch of JB weld on it, and I've got it all back together. It's been curing for as of filming of this video, it's cured for more than 40 hours, which is awesome. But I put it all back together. I gave it a little test drive before just to see if it would work. So I'm not going to film a video if I don't know the results or if it works or not. But yeah, so this is now fixed, and all it required was a bit of JB weld going across the shaft, connecting the magnet back to the two holders that had it. So now this car runs, and it works, and it's fast. This is really fast on 3S now. I'm very, very happy with it. I'm also glad it was such a really simple fix. So I got back in contact with the supplier of all of my motors and RC cars and everything, and they told me I could keep the motor, basically because it was an ESC and motor combo. So they told me I could keep the ESC because I told them there was nothing wrong with it, and the motor, and they, did their thing that they do. But I've managed to get it working. I don't know if it's going to be a permanent fix. I don't know if it's going to break again. But we're going to find out how long it lasts. So now that it is working, and I really can't emphasize enough how fast this is now. Also how cheap it was. Even with buying the JB weld to repair this motor, this is still an incredibly cheap project, under 400 Australian dollars, under 300 if you already have batteries and a charger laying around. Most of the cost of this was batteries and chargers and stuff, so 2 lipos and the charger itself, which you would have seen in the other video where I talked about how this project was coming up on the channel. So the charger and the batteries together would have cost me about 100 Australian dollars. This motor and ESC together were 100 Australian dollars. And the car itself was about 130, 140 Australian dollars. So if you already have the batteries laying around, that's a $240 brushless car running on 3S. So I'm really happy with it. I'm glad I was able to get it working. I'm glad I was able to fix it. Otherwise, this motor was going to be trashed. Honestly, it was just going to be thrown out because it would have been worthless. And I would have kept the ESC for a future video. But because I've managed to get it all working now, we're going to take it out, and I'm going to show you guys just how fast this cheap little conversion actually is. So 240 Australian dollars for motor, ESC, and car is, I'm not sure what that is in US, but I'm guessing it's about 170 US dollars. And I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to put this back on, and we're going to take this for a run, and you're going to see just how fast a simple conversion can make a car like this. I am going to upgrade the servo at some point, though. This servo is really weak, really lazy. Done my typical servo fix, just putting a plastic servo gear between the battery tray and the servo saver. All HSPs need that. I'm going to emphasize that. All HSPs need this fix, because all of these servo savers are crap. I have no shame in saying that. They're crap. These are one of my favorite brands. HSP is honestly one of my favorite brands. Their cars are cheap, they're awesome, and out of the box, they're pretty quick. They're pretty zippy for the price you pay for them. But these servo savers let the whole car down. They're just utterly ridiculous. So on Bert's one, we've just stuck some blue tack in there and held it down. All of my ones, I have these little plastic gears from servos. They're just little plastic servo gears, just between there and there. But yeah, no, anyway, enough rambling. Let's take it out for a drive. Alright, so Stealth Brushless build. I fixed the motor in this. This is the first run that I'm going to give it just to see if it actually works properly in long term. In part 1, remember we drove this and it was just cooked. So let's see if it works now that I fixed the motor. Oh man, it is quick. Alright, well, needless to say, it works perfectly. So, see you guys later in the next video.